Hello everyone. Today we're going to take a look at some higher order functions in JavaScript. The topics we're going to cover is the map method, filter, reduce, and sort method. So let's get right to it. All right. So first thing we're going to start off by is first we're going to set up an array that has a couple of different objects for us in there, and we're going to have a couple of different artists in there. Okay, so all right, so let's do this. First name. Let's just do name. Name. Ed Sheeran. Um, age. I don't know his age. So for the keys, we could have them as strings or not as strings. So for our person, I'm gonna go ahead and put them not as strings. Okay, now let's go with age. We're just gonna guess a random age for each of the artists. And let's go ahead and do rating. Ed Sheeran, he has some good music. We'll give him a 10. And now let's go ahead and copy this object. And for this one, let's go with Juice WRLD. Age, let's go with 20. Rating, yeah, we'll go with it with 10 as well. I don't think I'm going to give any artist less than a 10. Not a hater. All right, let's go. And for this one, let's go with, I don't know, Lil Baby. Age, let's go with 25. Rating, 10. And then let's go with I don't know, Chris Brown or something. Let's go with age 40. Again, none of these are accurate. Rating 10. You know what? I should have just left the rating out if I'm just going to give everyone a 10. And also, I'm going to go ahead and set up um, an array of, let's say, just an array of a bunch of numbers. Okay, so let's go with 10. 3. All right. So let's do it just like that. Forgot our equal sign. Okay, why are we still getting this error? All right, cool. All right, now that we have those two here, so let's start off by looking at the map method. So the way the map method kind of works is, so with all four of these methods here, these higher order functions, I kind of look at them as just having a built-in for loop inside of it for us, and then it performs something additional for us on whatever array or structure we pass into it. So to kind of demonstrate the way the .map method kind of works, I'm going to go ahead and start off by doing a regular for loop. So let's do for I equals 0. I is less than, let's say, for example, array dot length. Let's do I plus plus. So essentially with the .map method, I kind of look at it as having a built-in loop for us. So it's going to iterate through all the different elements that we have in our array, and then it's going to perform something on top of that for us. So we could use the .map method to, let's say we wanted to double all the numbers we had in our array, we could do that. If we wanted, we could go ahead and, again, we could do whatever we want on this array with the .map method. So for example, let's say we wanted to go ahead and triple all the numbers we have in our array. All we would have to do is something like, so we'd have to set up a new empty array here. And then we would do something like array2 dot push, and in there we're going to add, I guess we could do array bracket I multiply equals 2 or 3, whatever it is we want to do for it. Let's do 3. So essentially now what we're doing is we're running a loop through our array that we declared on line 8, and we're multiplying all the values by 3, and then we're storing it in an array called array2. So now if we come, for example, on line 15, we run a console.log of array2, we should get a brand new fresh array that has all the elements of our original array times 3. So let's run that and see what we get. And we got nothing back. Okay, what's going on here? First of all, why do we have these extra parentheses? Let's save that again. Oh, it just adds it for us. Okay, run. And we get nothing back. Array I times equals 3. Huh. And this is giving us issues. So, all right, let's do this. So, I guess we could just do it on a fresh line, I guess. Let's do let number equals array bracket I times 3. Okay. And now we're taking this number and we're pushing it to array2. So now let's see if we get what we're looking for with this method. Okay, that's not making any sense. I think we're doing something wrong here somewhere. Something's not making much sense. But let me see, for example, if I come here and I do a console.log of 5. Let's see if that even runs. Oh, I'm ridiculous, guys. I'm ridiculous. Okay, so I've been the whole time I've been running code file name, which is essentially just opening up the file for us. I never went ahead and ran node in the file name. So if we go ahead and do node, now we should get, okay, there we go. Now we go ahead and get an array with all the numbers multiplied by 3. And if we wanted, we should be able to do all of it on one line, like we were doing before. So array2.push, array bracket I times equals 3. And now that should be doing the exact same thing for us. So if we go ahead and run this, do node, cool. All of our elements multiplied by 3. So we get a new array with 30, 12, 24. All right, cool. So if we wanted to do this exact same thing, except we wanted to use the nice helpful map method, all we had to do was something like array, let's do this, let's do array 3 equals array dot map, okay, let's do el for element, arrow syntax, open that up, and we do L times 3. So if we go ahead and save this, this is literally the exact same thing as what we're doing on line 12 through 14. Okay, so if we come here, take this out, put a console.log of array 3, we should get the exact same thing. Cool. Let me see. Array.map times 3. Huh. Oh, though it's giving us some weird numbers because array, we have 10. If we multiply that by 3, we should get 30. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Let's comment this out. Let's run it again. Cool. All right, so that's mainly it for the .map method. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the filter method. So again, with the filter, I kind of just like look at it as having a built-in for loop in it and perform something additional for us. So to demonstrate it, we're going to go ahead and set up another for loop. Let's do for let I equals 0. I is less than, let's work with our array of artists this time. So let's do I is less than artists dot length, and then we do I plus plus. And then once we come over here, so the dot filter method, we can just go ahead and specify a condition, and then it's going to return a new array that only has the elements that pass the condition that you passed in. So let's say we came here, we did, all right, so we're just going to use the array 2 again. Let's say we did, so for each artist, let's do if artist bracket I, so for each individual artist, if their age is greater than 25, okay, then we're going to go ahead and do array2 dot push, and we're going to push in artist I, okay. So essentially, we're going to run this for loop here, and if we have an artist whose age is over 25, it's going to add it to array 2 for us. So let's go ahead and log out array 2 and see what we get for that. Console.log array 2, save, and we should get only Chris Brown back, because according to our program right now, he's 40. So, oh, and also Ed Sheeran because he's 30. All right, cool. So we get Chris Brown and Ed Sheeran because they're over 30 years old. It's less than 25. Should get the other people. Cool. We get Juice WRLD because he's 20. All right. So if we wanted to do this exact same thing, but we wanted to use it with our nice helpful filter method, all we would have to do is something like let array 3 equals, let's do artists dot filter, and then in here we're going to do artists, so for each individual artist, and then we're going to go ahead and open up our fat arrow for our ES6 syntax, and what we're going to do is let's do artists dot age is greater than 25. And I'm pretty sure that's all we would have to do to go ahead and do this exact same thing using the dot filter method. So if we come here and do a console.log, let's comment out line 23, do a console.log of array 3, save, if we run it, we get Ed Sheeran and Chris Brown because they are over 25. Let's say we do less than or equal to 25, we should get the other people. Cool, we got Juice WRLD and Lil Baby. Nice. Now let's go ahead and look at our reduce method. Okay, so with the reduce method, it just runs a for loop through the array that we pass it in, and then it goes ahead and tallies up everything for us into a total. So, all right, so let's do like the for loop method of using a dot reduce method. So let me go ahead and comment this out. And for example, let's say, all right, so we're just going to use this for loop we have here on line 19 through 21 to go ahead and do this. So let's say we wanted to go ahead and run a for loop and do a dot reduce method, and we wanted to go ahead and add up the age of all of our artists, okay? So we could do something like let total age equals 0, and then once we come in here, all we would do is total age plus equals artists, bracket I for each individual artist, and let's do dot age. And now if we come here on line 23, do a console.log of total age, should get the total age for everybody that's in our artist array. And that is 115. So if we come here, 30 plus 20, 50, 75 plus 40, 115. So now let's go ahead and do this with our dot reduce method. So to do that, we do something like artists dot reduce. Okay. And then we would come in here and we would pass in, I guess you could say, two parameters. One, we're going to have a total, and the other one, I'll just call it L. And all we have to do is something like this. And all we have to do is total total plus L. Still run it, and we get the exact same thing for the dot reduce method. Last thing we're gonna take a look at is the dot sort method. So with the dot sort method, it does exactly what it does for us. It just sorts whatever data structure we pass into it. It just sorts whatever elements we have in there based on how we ask it to. So as a default way that it normally does it, for example, let's take our array of artists. If we come here and we do something like let sorted is equal to artists dot sort, and then inside of there, so first of all, let's go ahead and save this. Let's see what we get by just passing it in like that. So we're gonna come here, comment out all of this, and do a console.log of sorted. Save it. If we run it, Ed Sheeran, Juice WRLD, Chris Brown, Lil Baby. Okay, so essentially nothing happened. It didn't sort anything for us because we have like an object right now that has so essentially you can't sort name or age. So if we come in here and we did something like, so essentially when you're using the dot sort method and you want it to work exactly how you want it to, typically you would come in here and you would pass in two parameters, so an A and a B parameter. Next, we open up our fat arrow syntax. And let's say we wanted to go ahead and organize this array of artists by their names. So then you would go ahead and do something like a dot name. So you do a dot name is less than b dot name. If that's the situation, let's do this. A dot name is b dot name. If that's the case, you return 1, else you return -1. Save this, and let's give it a run. Cool. And it went ahead and sorted it. Okay, that did not sort it how it intended to sort it. Okay, so let's do, what if we did this? Wait, what? What is it even doing right now? Oh, is it because we don't have a name? Okay, good. If we come here and do a dot name, b dot name, maybe that should work a little bit better. Okay, there we go. All right, now it's working as intended. It's because before in our object, so our name key has a capital N, and we're using a lowercase n, so that's why it wasn't working for us before. We save that, and now we're able to successfully sort the names in alphabetical order. So we got Chris Brown, Ed Sheeran, Juice WRLD, and Lil Baby. If you wanted to sort them by age, and then we would just go ahead and change the name property here to age. And now it's going to go ahead and sort it for us by the youngest to the oldest. So we got Juice WRLD because he's 20, Lil Baby, Ed Sheeran, and Chris Brown. Cool. Yes, that's mainly all I wanted to go over in this video. We went over the map, filter, reduce, and sort methods, and kind of just how they're kind of comprised essentially. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.